We thank you, family, for being here with us at Black Women Heal Show. We appreciate you for all the downloads, the listens, the shares, for telling somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody, baby. We appreciate you guys. We are so excited to be here with you this evening. So we got Cheyenne.
What's going on, my people, my people?
Then we got Sheena.
Hey, y'all.
Then we got Salida y los Dinos. Then we got our girl Ashley.
Yo, what's good?
On 5 your moderator, Monique. We here.
Yes.
DWH is in the building, you guys. We are on BeHealShow.com.
Catch
Look
those
in the show
analytics.
notes and make sure that you are subscribed to our newsletter so you can stay up to date on anything that we're doing and anything that we may need some feedback from you guys. We'll send out a newsletter, getting feedback from you, getting your input and all those things. And if you're listening today on the streaming platform or watching on YouTube, there's also a link for you to take a survey for us because we want to better serve you. And we want to also continue to build community with you. And so we have a couple of questions that we like to ask you guys. You can give your feedback at the very end of that survey as well. And it's anonymous. We won't know who it is that's filling out the survey or anything like that. So you can feel comfortable and your privacy is maintained as well. So if you could do that for us, we would so appreciate it so that we can get better at what we're trying to accomplish here on BWH. That reminds me of KS's platform because a year ago, when nobody was checking for him, he was digging into men like the heel of the Wicked Witch of the East on The Wizard of Oz. But now that he's digging into women, everybody want to share his.
Well, that's what I posted on my page. Like,
not just any woman,
and
the black woman.
Yeah, that's what I posted, and I said,
the black woman.
And yes, and I indicated, I indicated somebody needed to say it because it's a whole difference. Like I said, it's not what is being said because much of it is true.
Exactly.
It's how it's being presented. And like you said, on the flip side of that, nobody was paying any attention. That's why I posted that because it needed to be said.
He had a lot of viewers and he had a lot of subscribers even a year ago to this day, or even to June and July. He had a lot of viewers and he was getting the viewers and the subscribers, but they weren't sharing it when he was digging into their butt. Like my father say, I'm a dig in your butt. You know what I'm saying? Like the old folks used to say. I'm a dig in your butt. Nobody was sharing it then, but all of a sudden, when it's time to talk about
the black woman,
which is also what inspired our last episode 2-3 weeks ago, Black Girl, you know you can't do that, is because they don't nobody.
Yes, because the issue is black men don't handle black women with care. That's the issue.
We need to have a conversation about who's going to fucking protect her. Maybe that's what we need to have a conversation.
Unless she has the complexion for protection.
Okay.
Then that is limited.
That's a whole nother episode.
That's as a collective, though.
That's a whole nother episode.
I'm for a Patreon. Y'all can't get that for free.
We call it the black woman, the house nigga. We call it that.
Yo, we gonna get censored.
That's why we need Patreon, because I ain't trying to get censored on YouTube and stuff. YouTube is censored.
Definitely are gonna be on Patreon. I'm not talking about this publicly.
That's why y'all need to fill out the survey, because if we get enough people on the survey asking for Patreon, we'll have these deep dive discussions, and then you could take it out into your local communities with your loved ones and have further continue it or bring them to us. We gonna talk about it.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
That's the kind of shit we could talk about. How, you know, some of these black men put black women through hell and back, and then they switch sides when they become a whole better man.
Just like
let's talk about it.
I love Kanye when he had the college backpack, but that other stuff he doing now with the Kardashians, I can't rock with.
Look at Jeezy.
He's still in there. He's still in there. The real Kanye is still there.
Disgrace.
Look at Jeezy. They put black women through hell, but then treat
disgrace.
Girl.
That's what I'm saying. He's a disgrace.
So that's what Ashley said many episodes ago. She was like,
I'm not trying to mind my business, but
a black man will go through hell and back with a black woman while he's trying to do the come up thing. Mm-hmm. But then as soon as he get big enough, because his inner circle is predominantly white or Latino or non white, Hispanic, and Latino, he'll go get one of them and he won't take the black woman he started with.
No, because that's a whole nother rabbit hole. But
right,
they switch their caliber of women because they draw with money. You draw certain likes because if had you not had money, these people wouldn't be paying attention to you. You would just be another name.
And that's the other issue is that there's not enough of us with that level of wealth for them to pick and choose from. Because if you got a black man, I would be curious to know if you got a black man and there's 20 black women like Rihanna making money on her own, right? In the same room, who is he going to choose? That's what I would be curious to know. Because at the end of the day, there's not enough black people.
None of them. He gonna go try to find
right because we already. But that's the thing, Ashley. Boom, you hit the nail on the head because we established that already. It ain't about the money because a lot of these men they don't want women that's making these. Because when a woman is making X amount of dollars, she feel like she could call certain shots. You know what I mean? They go to the ones that don't have nothing and it's submissive.
Women that's available to them in those circles, because when you think about, all right, here's something I'm going to tell you, guys, and y'all probably already know this, but like when a man is making 2-digit millionaire figures, right? Most of the time, there's the percentage of black people in that community is going to be less than 10%. And so the available black women in that community is going to be lessened. So because he's not around black women anymore on a regular basis, he's going to automatically go to what's available.
And that's what a lot of athletes say.
Exactly. So we can't blame them for the fact that there's not enough of us in those environments.
Right. As soon as I get off the bus, they're there. Wherever I'm at, they're there because they mix and mingle in those type of circles.
Black women don't compete,
and they're there. Again, I'm not making excuses for them because my nigga, you know where you came from. Right. So at the end of the day,
my problem
you don't have to go back to where you came from, but you can there's like black colleges, there's places that you can do your research if you're just clueless. Like there are places that you can get an educated black woman, you can get a black woman that has a little coin. She don't have to be a fucking billionaire. She can be a lady that can pay her bills, could buy her house and her car. You know what I mean? Like we don't even have to put billionaires out there. That's unrealistic for not everybody, but like maybe our audience per se.
Here's the other thing. Here's the other problem is that black women that I see and that I know to be true based on who I am too as a person is that we don't feel like we have to compete with those other women of other races because we feel like we're superior because we are the mother of all people and some other things too. But I feel like we are just not in those spaces. And so therefore those men are going to choose those women that are in those spaces showing up at the games.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that too, but it's also a multitude of different reasons. And sometimes one of the other reasons is, like I said, when you make an X amount of dollars, nobody checking for you because your name is not that big, your paper not that long. When you get to a certain level, now you got all different races, all different women checking for you. And now you want the exotic one because before, when you was just Joe Blow from the neighborhood, you can't pull that caliber of a woman because they're not checking for you. Okay. But now when you get up there and you're making a certain income and you're in the public eye, now everybody checking for you and they always want the exotic one because these are the ones that was not in their caliber at the time. So now it's like, now we want something different. We don't want the black girl from the neighborhood. Now we bigger than that now. You know what I mean? So it's a multitude of different reasons why that happens.
And I absolutely agree, Cheyenne, but my whole argument is also that we're just not there in those environments enough to have them be able to make a decision of whether I'm gonna go with this race or that race. I also think that there's not enough of us black women in those positions where they can have a choice. Because here's the thing, we are all products of our environments, right? So if we say that these men have been ball players for 5 years and they can count on one hand how many times a reasonable black woman who may be a wifey type has been presented to them in those situations in 5 years, right? They're going to automatically go with the woman who most presents herself as agreeable for their lifestyle. If there's not a whole lot of Black women in those areas, in those parts of their lives, they're not going to choose the Black woman because that's not what's the majority. The majority is white women or Hispanic or Latino women. And Black women have a thing for not wanting to compete. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I think we a little entitled. We think we supposed to be fucking chased all the time instead of doing the chasing.
I do believe as a woman, you are not to be chasing shit. Okay, so I have to interject. I don't give a damn what color you are. But I believe as a woman, if it's a heterosexual woman, you don't chase a damn thing. You let a man find his wife. That's what I believe. And
let the man be the hunter.
Back down on that.
Yeah, he can.
I don't believe that a woman finds her husband. Sorry, I believe that's why the divorce rate is so high. No, sorry,
the divorce rate is high in the Black community because
find a whole bunch of women. Let's go to your statistics and find statistically women that have chased men that are still with their man. Let's find a batch of them. That's just
but that's not the statistic. That's not how it's going to be worded. So it's going to be hard to find it in that way. But what I'm saying to you is that I feel like
did you chase your man or did he chase you? It's simple as that.
Both. It was absolutely both. And that's what I'm saying. That you have to not only let your man chase you and allow him the opportunity to propose you and to decide whether you're a mate for him, but you also gotta chase him. Because there's other women that's competing for his contention, for his attention. That's the whole thing with like marriage and wanting to be long term and stuff like that.
No, I'm there. I disagree with you.
I understand. I'm just telling you my point of view.
Disagree with that. Yeah, I disagree with that.
I'm just saying my point of view is that if a man approaches you and he says, look, let's go on this date, we're gonna go out.
This is a whole nother episode. I have to chop and screw this and get another episode. The hell?
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Right. So look, here's the thing. I'll give you a perfect example. When I met on my feet, right? Because
come on with
it. Come on. He was on a whole different level than he is right now. Being as far as his demographic and his earnings before the crash of 08 or right at the crash of 08, okay? I had to compete for his attention. Yes, he chose me to go out on a date with, to go to my parents' house, pick me up, take me to 4 and 5 dinner restaurants, but I had to compete with other women who may have been more submissive than me. So what I'm saying is that when you're dating men, if you're in a heterosexual relationship specifically, when you're dating men, yes, he may choose you, but what do you want to do to keep that A? What do you want to do to stay in the running to win that man that you said, sis?
Yeah, but that's two different things. Like, I do agree with that because I already said that. And no, it's not. You're talking about chasing and what are you going to do to keep?
But that's two different things. Keeping is the same thing because you can hold his attention for 4 weeks or 2 months or 5 months. Okay, I'm not telling you to break your back and to do power flips for the Olympics to keep his attention. What I'm telling you is that no matter what he's doing with you, there may be 2 or 3 other women competing for his attention, his love in that ring. It's a competition out here. There's too many women.
Girl, bye. Ain't no 2 or 3. You talking about in the beginning or now?
Want to be married.
No, the beginning.
The beginning. Because you know what, I get it,
but
I had a totally different situation. No, that's not.
But I think she's coming from the perspective of the dating world, right? Because sometimes you know a man is dating you, you know, in today's dating world, you might not be exposed to it because you've been out the game for a real long time. But in the dating world today, for example, you know, you always have it in your head when dating a man that okay, there's a potential that he's talking to other women. You know, but in my mind, I'm not thinking about any of those other women. However,
Right.
if you show me as a man, because I do believe, and maybe that's why I'm single, I don't know, I'm not married. So I'm coming from the perspective of a person that's single. So my thing is, when a man show you his interest and he's doing things to show you that he's interested, because I do believe a man should lead. So when you're taking the lead as a man, then I will reciprocate. I'm not chasing you, you know.
That's not chasing.
Right.
That's reciprocating.
You know what I mean?
You use different words. That's not chasing. I just agree with the word.
What I'm saying is that it's a competitive market.
Chase. I don't feel like a woman should ever in her life chase a man. That's opinion.
No, what I'm saying, what I think we had miscommunicated. What I'm saying is that it's not about a woman necessarily chasing in the literal sense. What I'm saying is that you got to know that you're in competition with possibly 2 or 3 other women for this position that you say you want.
Yeah, well,
go with whoever he thinks is going to fit the lifestyle and the view of what it's supposed to look like for his life. Because if you say that you can't deal with him, if he tells you, look, this is who I am, this is who I am, we can get married, we can have the house, the picket fence, and the 1 or 2 children. But there time to time I may F this woman or that one. He's going to choose a woman that's going to be okay with that over you, no matter how good your qualities are, no matter how good you can balance some checkbooks. That's what I'm saying. It's a competition. Dating is a competition, is what I'm saying. You're not entitled to anything. You have to earn your position.
Maybe I have been out of time. I've never looked at it like that.
There's been times when I may have been dating someone seriously and or not seriously. And it's a competition because I'm like, I started talking to these 2 people at the same time, but who do I think is better fit for me based on how we're equally yoked in our viewpoints for life? No matter if you want to believe it's a competition or not, it's still a competition. This is before marriage, not after marriage.
Yeah, it's
I understand. I never looked at it like that. That's just not my perspective. I'm not saying that your perspective is wrong. I have never ever dated with that perspective, and that's just it. That's all. And like that's all I'm saying. I'm not disagreeing and saying, I just never felt like that ever.
To me, it felt like a competition
with another man. From your perspective, you have to speak from your perspective, because from my perspective, that's not my experience. That's not my experience at all.
Yeah. Well, let me say this, because you know what, I get, like Cheyenne has said, like I get where Ashley's coming from, and I get where you're coming from, and the whole I don't want to say runner chaser, but that whole dynamic of chasing, letting the man be the hunter, because that's naturally in them, just like in the animal kingdom, for somebody to chase. Now, and I understand from the standpoint of when you're dating, it's a competition. It's pretty much saying, how different are you from the other people that he or she may be seeing? So that's why the whole thing of leave a little right. And the thing is that it's proof in the pudding, because this whole thing is what this society has been missing out on is leaving a little bit of mystery. You want to stand out, just leave a little bit. You know what? It's just like a kid with some candy. The kid wants the candy. Don't give him the whole damn thing. You give him a little bit. Give a little bit. But it's going to change the whole dynamic. But I'm not saying that you have to give up some ass or do this.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it just
learn the person.
The dating world, that's the key right there, because the dating world is so complicated in the sense that each man is different. So I could take the perspective of being the chaser, so to speak, or whatever, but then that specific man might not like that, and he might think I'm aggressive. You know what I mean? It's just so much that goes into this damn dating world. Like, it's a headache. It's a goddamn headache. Because some men loves to be pursued by women, and then the next man might think that that's too aggressive and you're acting too much in a masculine energy, and they don't like that. You know what I mean?
And that's why it's so important to tune in and raise your frequency. Because if you go and you tune in and you do what you got to do, guess what? That's half of the battle right there. Because you already setting yourself different. You're being the exception. You're leaving a little bit of mystery. Therefore, guess what? In order to be number one, you got to be odd.
Yeah.
So you can't do what
That's
everybody
true.
else is doing. You got to be true to you.
Yeah.
So if
Always.
I don't give a damn how good he looks, smell, whatever the case may be, because all that right there is just 3D.
Right.
It's what's in the inside is going to give you that longevity. So if you vibing with the person and you really taking the time to get to know them on a friendship level, not on the booty level. If you going straight to that, you already gave up your ace card. It's a wrap. He got what he wanted.
Because they ain't trying to find out shit after that.
No, they trying to find out the ass shape, and that's it. So it's just like, they want, and if you getting to know them, and you get to know them on a friendship level, because chemistry doesn't lie, frequency doesn't lie, and if their frequency is vibrating low, honey, you better go ahead and go.
Yeah, that's why that's why it's so important to be on the equally yoked terms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because if you have a conversation with him and he's telling you that he's not ready for this, and that, and you're ready for all those things that he's saying he's not, why are you still there?
Exactly. Yeah, it's nice meeting you,
That's the woman,
Bob.
because she thinks she could change him instead of changing her damn self.
You can't change that man, sis.
That's right.
Why won't my man change for you? Episode 19. You can't do that.
But what happens when, like I said, it's complicated out in these streets. So what happens when he pretends that everything that you want is what he wants just so that he could get what he wants? You know what I
mean? He's immature and he needs to grow the fuck up. Now in our 20s, that's one thing. But now,
girl,
we need to go beat him up. Where's he at?
Girl, it's a lot of them grown men walking around in little kids' bodies. You know what I mean?
A man that has the time to do that ain't focused on his purpose. Because a man
that
focuses on his purpose ain't happy. He don't have time.
Exactly.
But
you know, a man focused on his purpose did the work, so he understand what he wants. A man that's not focused on his purpose, he out here just trying to get in where he could fit in, and he don't care what the fuck he say to get it.
Notch to the belt. Okay.
Yeah.
That's them young boys. That's what teenagers do. Okay. A grown ass man ain't gonna be worried about no notches on the belt. Now he may be trying to get one out and rub one on out. That's a whole nother thing.
But Palmetto.
You know what I'm saying? But he may
that's the Palmer.
He's not gonna also be professing it to his voice like, yeah, I fucked this girl last night. Like that's some immature stuff. You know what I'm saying? He gonna fuck you, he gonna get his nut off, and he gonna go to work the next day and do what he gotta do. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the motherfucker that's immature. The motherfucker that's immature, that's the one that's gonna string you along. That's the one who doesn't have emotional intelligence.
Nope,
not that.
That's the one you need to get them deuces.
Okay.
Ladies, just do the work so you don't fall for the okie doke.
And then the other thing is, the other thing is as well is that as you know, women and being in this social media age, there are some times where you know what, it's like shut the hell up and stop putting on there what you looking in a man. Shut up, zip it.
Because they're gonna be everything that you say you are.
Exactly. And you just go caught up in the bullshit. And you're like, oh my God, what? No, honey. You done told you done told the secret. They done now they know. They didn't tap the dick for it because you was like this on social media.
I read them out.
That's low vibrational. If you're doing that, that's low vibrational. So you're operating at a low vibration. Well, whoever those people are, I don't give a damn if y'all.
The point is, y'all need to do the work. That's the point.
Facts on facts on facts.
Okay, so look, make sure that you follow, subscribe on your favorite platform, whether it's visual or audio, and make sure.
And to the newsletter. My favorite platform. Hit that bell and subscribe. Following your favorite and mine. YouTube. Homework assignment.
Bye.
Bye.